Hello! Interested in doing business with Latrobe City Council? Whether you're a small business or a large organisation, there's a few steps we take to ensure we all work well together in a fair and consistent way, and in a way that ensures we make the best, fair use of our ratepayers' money. It all makes up what is called our procurement policy, and this video explains all you'll need to know about doing business with Latrobe City Council. This policy gets reviewed annually, and the most current version is always available to the public on the Latrobe City website. In this video, we'll touch briefly on how we commission work or purchase goods, what we expect of our suppliers and contractors, and how you get paid. Before we go any further though, let us tell you a little bit about Latrobe City. We're one of the 4 major Victorian regional cities. Our total population is about 80,000, and the local workforce is made up of about half of that. Our largest employers are Latrobe Regional Hospital, Lyons Processing Facility in Morwell, the Maryvale Paper Mill, and our energy generators, which produce over 85% of Victoria's power. The type of goods and services required by Council are broad and very diverse, so we've developed a set of rules depending on the amount being spent that ensures we make fair and responsible use of our ratepayers' money. For purchase amounts less than $150, one verbal quote must be recorded. For amounts between $150 and $1,000, 2 verbal quotes are required. For amounts between $1,000 and $5,000, 2 written or emailed quotes must be obtained. For goods and services between $5,000 and $150,000, or construction between $5,000 and $200,000, 3 written or emailed quotes must be obtained. Projects exceeding these amounts must go through an advertised public tender process. All figures are inclusive of GST. In any case, there are ultimately 2 ways in which we seek to procure goods or services: quotes and tenders. Council officers generally look for quotes for goods and services that do not need to be publicly advertised. An officer will usually contact suppliers directly, and if you're quoting for a job, you can contact an officer for specific details. For tenders, there are strict rules around direct contact with officers which must be followed. These rules will be stated clearly in the tender documents. Most of the time, tenders need to be advertised publicly in both local and national newspapers, as well as on the Latrobe City Council website and on our e-tendering portal. Tenders can be submitted in hard copy at council headquarters, or ideally, submissions can be done digitally via our e-tendering portal. The tender documents state very clearly what Council's requirements are, a detailed scope of works, the general conditions of the contract, and the schedules and attachments that are to be included with your submission. Not complying with these requirements could jeopardise your chance of being awarded the contract, so it's important to read them carefully and allow yourself plenty of time to prepare your submission before the deadline. We assess all submissions based on their responses to the criteria outlined in the tender documents, and then we apply weightings based on the following conditions: 13% towards your business's capacity to do the work, 13% towards your track record, 13% towards your time performance, 13% towards occupational health and safety, 13% towards what benefit your business will bring to the local economy, and if you employ trainees and apprentices, you're awarded up to 5%. 30% of the weighting goes towards the price of the goods or services. These weightings make sure our decisions aren't just based on price. We also place great emphasis on things like support for our local industry, sustainability practices, and policies on OH&S, insurance and quality assurance. Where possible, Council prefers environmentally friendly products and encourages all suppliers to show a commitment to reducing environmental impact. If you do business with us, we expect you will ensure your workplace is safe and complies with all relevant OH&S policies. Latrobe City Council also requests that all contractors have relevant and adequate insurance cover. This includes public liability, professional indemnity and work cover as a minimum. And policies need to be current and maintained throughout the duration of the contract. Finally, the community's expectations of the services we provide are high, so it's extremely important that all suppliers, contractors and consultants have the same high standards of quality assurance as we do. Once a tender or quote has been accepted, a purchase order or contract is drawn up to signify an official go-ahead. No money can be paid to a supplier without a purchase order number listed on the invoice. Your invoice should also include the following standard information: your ABN, the price, including or excluding GST with the GST amount clearly shown, the words tax invoice included on the invoice where appropriate, Latrobe City Council's name and address, the date of issue, supplier name and an item description. Our standard payment terms are 30 days after the receipt of the invoice, unless otherwise arranged. Our preferred payment method is by EFT, and we'll send you a remittance advice after payment. During the term of a contract, if something changes and the contract needs to be altered, we need to ensure the variation doesn't alter the intent of the contract or the scope and capabilities of the contractor. Variations below an accumulated amount of $200,000 including GST can be approved by the CEO, while variations above this will need to be approved by Council. No work as a result of a contract variation can proceed until approved. Although the rules around procurement can be a lot to take in, it's not as daunting as it may seem at first. If you have any questions or require a copy of the policy itself, simply get in touch. Call 1300 367 700. Email procurement@latrobe.vic.gov.au or visit www.latrobe.vic.gov.au. Thanks for your time. We wish you and your business every success, and we look forward to working with you in the near future.